Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for FFBE, kind of compare that to the FFBE wiki, and get a sense of what we need for upcoming content and trials that are going on this week to help you kind of get ready and make sure you have the gear and the equipment that you need to help you take those trials out relatively easily. So if you're new to what we do here, that's what we do on Tuesdays. So let's take a look at the in-game news now and see what we get. The first one we're going to start out with is actually the one that I'm mostly looking forward to, and that is the 12 types takedown against Cerberus. So I'm going to pop up some information here on the screen. Cerberus is a beast type enemy, in case you couldn't tell, and it has resistances to all kinds of elements at 265. With the exception of it's only 210% resistant to fire and ice, or 220% resistant to dark. So definitely want to find out some ways to maybe stack your imperils and imperil fields, or use just really heavy imperils, and go after fighting Cerberus. Now there's two fights that you can do for this one. The intermediate version, which the challenges for that are on the screen. 12 turns, party of 5, no items. Pretty straightforward. And then the advanced version is 15 turns, party of 5, and no items. So you're trying to get it done pretty quickly as much as you can to get the best rewards. Fairy Eater Sense being the best of those, but also Beast Killer Plus. And Fairy Eater Sense is important because that means that the next one, the next 12 types takedown we're going to get is a fairy. So we'll always be looking out for anything that is going to give us Fairy Killer. So yeah. Cerberus, it's a beast. Let's get some beast killer and take care of that. So that'll be kind of our focus tonight. That's not the only content that we have, of course. We also have this passage of the Fey March, passage to the Fey March. This is a King Mog event. It's for Final Fantasy IV. And we're going to get some neat stuff in here, like a copy of Golbez, and then a bunch of tickets, a bunch of stuff we can exchange for. This Aegis shield in particular has resistances to various ailments on it, which is always nice. And then both of them kind of have middle range spirit, which is pretty cool. We got some enemies, we got some bonus units and things like that. The final boss of this is a dragon. It's a thunder dragon. It's a dragon type, obviously. And its weaknesses are light and dark, and you can use all the breaks you want. So just bring something good and sneeze on it, and it's probably going to die because it's a King Mog fight. But yeah, be ready to fight some dragons. We also have two other challenges here. The Rulers of the Fey March, which is Ashura and Leviathan. You can kind of see them here. The wiki doesn't have a lot of information about what Ashura is. I'm guessing either a human or a fairy. And then Leviathan is obviously an aquatic. And the only resistances that were on the wiki were a Leviathan. So, you know, it's 130% resistant to everything except for water and ice, which it is very resistant to at 250%. But again, weak to lightning and light. Ashura, there wasn't a lot of information to share with you there. So just kind of be ready for all kinds of stuff. But Leviathan's going to be the harder of the two fights, I believe. We also have this upcoming content here. It says the Chronicle battle. This is a repeat of the Chronicle battle that we had before, just a harder version that's going to be locked to Final Fantasy IV units. From what I understand, the same AI, just maybe bulkier bosses, and we're going to be fighting Golbez and the Dark Dragon. So Golbez is a human, the Dark Dragon is a dragon. Golbez is resistant to dark and weak against lightning and light. The dragon is resistant against everything, but not 100%. And 50% weak to ice. You can only break their defense and spirit. Now you do get the opportunity to upgrade Golbez's armor to either a spirit version, which gives you Reaper Killer for the whole party on Golbez, or Curse, which gives Golbez the ability to do a big break and dark imperil for all enemies. So both of those are kind of neat, but I think the Curse is probably the one that I want the most. So we'll definitely be going after those as best we can. Hopefully can go after these on Thursday and come up with a way to do it using the units that I have. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. But it's not the only Chronicle fight that we're getting. We're also getting this one, the Chronicle battle against Rubicante. Rubicante is a farming type one, so you just kind of put together your bonus team and go and blow them up on turn 1 and farm the materials to make the upgraded weapons. The Deathbringer, which is old school Dark Cecil's Deathbringer Greatsword STMR. You gets upgraded to 220 attack, two-handed Dark Elemental Sword. Bonus stuff for Dark Cecil, kind of neat. And then the Mythgraven Blade for Paladin Cecil. His old 7-star STMR gets big boost to Spirit and Spirit percent with bonus stats. So very, very cool. Worth making both of them, I would say. And just kind of stick them in your back pocket until you manage to pull the new Cecil. And that's really it, other than the fact that we're also getting story. Story tends to be filled with like machine enemies and stuff like that these days. Kind of be ready for that. The thing I'm most looking forward to about the story is that we are getting this upgrade to Tyvis's sword. Tyvis is a unit that I really enjoy using. So getting an upgrade for him is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to all of this for Tyvis's sword. And then beyond that, we have a live stream coming up. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be taking part in the chat there. And I look forward to seeing all you guys there so we can chit chat and visit all that stuff. But that's for another day. Let's talk about the killers that we need. So we talked about needing a variety of killers, and Dragon was in a couple of the fights. Humans were in a couple of fights. Oh my gosh, too much on the screen at once. So Dragon, the best source of Dragon Killer that you can get from a trial is the Bahamut trial for Dragon Killer Plus. You can also make more Dragon Killer Pluses from the recipe. And Ashura's Rod is probably the other one that's pretty good for a magic Dragon Killer. The physical Dragon Killer is about the same. Dragon Killer and Dragon Killer Plus, of course. Also some STMRs and TMRs. Last Guardian, Dragon Vanquisher, Glacial Battle Garb. The Dark Lord from the Scorn of the Sworn 8 is another Dragon Killer sword. So some options there. Let's talk humans for a second. Cross Aigean Arm from Scorn of Machine of Destruction is fairly good. And you could also get Guy's Belt and Weapon Specialist. We mentioned those last week, so I definitely want to pick those up if you haven't already. Aquatics for the Leviathan fight. There's like no aquatic killer for, for trials, so Tiger Fangs is really it, but you can also pick up Aquan Killer from Ollie from Friend Points, Soldier's Protection, good 3-star TMR, things like that. Then the main one we're focusing on is Beast, because Beast is for the 12 types takedown. So you could do this by just beating Scorn of Eamon Intermediate. It's going to get you Beast Killer Plus. That's what I'm going to show on video tonight, something from our stream. Or Valued Memories from Irvin, Infernal Battle Garb, Beast Killer from the chest. Lots of good stuff. If you can beat Rafflesia, you can also get Beast Eater Sense from Rafflesia, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, beating Cerberus is going to get you some Beast Killer as well. But in the absence of being able to beat Cerberus yet, we're going to go after Scorn of Eamon, the intermediate version. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and cut this video and switch over to a video from my stream tonight where we show a team that can do it using like some old 7-star units that have become NVAs. And I go over their gear and all that in the video, so definitely take a look at that, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I guess the first thing let's do is let's look at Moose's gear. And I'm going to blame the Moose if this does not work. Alright, so both forms geared pretty well, looking really good. You got Magisters on, you got two-handed weapon, you got the killer. You got Reaper Killer, LB damage, true double hand. You are definitely geared better than mine, but mine is built on a budget, so it's all good. Oh man, you got the Esther Vision card. This is rad. This is gonna be totally fine. And so I'll show you mine. I don't think I've shown you how mine's geared yet. Prepare to be underwhelmed. One thing that's important, we talked about, we've got Sword of Kings for the first turn to deal with the sealable magic that we're gonna take care of. And then otherwise he's just geared with a bunch of random stuff. The most rare thing on here is probably the Dreamer's Crown or the Photon Core. Everything else is just kind of like available. Master of Fate is it's in Neovision's STMR, and we've also got Chizuru's Vision card, but otherwise that's it. We got not Max True Double Hand, we got Reaper Killer, we got some LB damage. You're definitely be carrying this fight. Folka and Citra have the Judgment Staff, and Fyra and Dual Cast. They can take this Nethicite off. They can take this off too, actually. They're gonna be doing the Dispelga trick on turn 1. Ignis, his gear really does not matter that much. He's just giving us the Fire Imbue. Yep. We got Charlotte here. We can probably take this off. Like, we really need to just gear her. She needs passive provoke and evasion. So we'll just leave it like this for right now. However you want to get passive provoke and evasion, and really you should be having some like resistances. So like we'll put some like resistance gear on her, like Judge's Oath. There we go. Just something so she has some resistances. Eamon does not hit that hard, but we're gonna do this. And then the other thing I need to do is change, because now we're chaining slots 1 and 6. So we'll do me first, and then Moose. All right, so let's do it. So turn 1, he is going to do a bunch of preemptive bad stuff to us, like regen and zombie curse. And we're going to get rid of all that with the Dispelga trick. So if you're not familiar with the Dispelga trick, you're going to use dual cast and cast something on the boss. Doesn't matter what. And then Dispelga on the boss. And in the middle of that, you're going to change target. So I'm going to send those spells and immediately target Moose to switch targets, and that will dispel all of the regen off of us. I click on Moose, I target, and now we're dispelled, so we don't have regen anymore. Ignis is going to double tactics, overwhelm. He's going to overwhelm on Moose, actually. There we go. And enhancement to unlock the Fire Imbue skills. There we go. Moose is actually going to contribute here and do Azure Flame Edge and really doesn't have to do anything else. We'll just do like Ares Sword, whatever. Yeah, you're totally going to carry this fight, Moose. I hope you know that. Our Charlotte is going to use Light of Grand Shelt and Evil Warding Shield, because this is a Reaper enemy. We're going to protect ourselves from Reapers. And then my Reagan is going to use Power to destroy Nethicite from Sword of Kings. We take a little bit of damage. We sealed the full life, and she's going to be eating up the Quake right there. There we go. She's going to counter a whole bunch because she's awesome. Summer, Folka, and Citra are going to do a Reaper Killer on buff for us. Ignis is going to shift. And he's going to do, he's going to do Enhancement Fire to add fire to everybody, Reinforcement to buff our stats, and Spell Daggers to reduce fire resistance. Although Moose already lowered fire resistance, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then if we need anything else, we could grab it from Charlotte, but we don't really need anything else right now. So we're going to shift Reagan. and use shifted LB and shift other Reagan and use the shifted LB, and this should do it. Yeah, massive overkill. Don't be embarrassed, Moose. You got us through it. All right, so we did 11.9 billion, and I'm gonna guess that the large majority of that was Moose. Yeah. Moose with the carry. You know, so grab you a good Reagan friend and go after Scorn of Eamon to get your Beast Killer Plus, you know what I mean? Wow. She didn't quite level up her LB. But that would have also, because we did it within 5 turns, we did not have anybody die, we used no items, so that would also be in all missions clear. So for what that's worth. All right, so wasn't that thrilling? The last thing I wanted to talk about here before we go is the global. There's 2 things I want to talk about: the global vision card step up summon and exchange. So included in this, what we're seeing here is you can get Dazzling Demoness, the Mont card, the Roberta card, the Elena card, the Light Vita card. Excuse me. The Light Fina card, and the Leave Things to Me vision card. And you can do this step up for only 22k, which is a big decrease in price compared to what they were when they were originally on banner, which was 28k. If you don't have the Dazzling Demoness card or the Leave Things to Me vision card, I would say it's worth the 22k to go ahead and pick these up. But depending on how much Lapis you have right now, and whether or not you already have these, it might not be worth it to you. Personally, I'm going to be skipping these for now because I have all of them except for the Elena card, the Mont card, and the Fina card, and those are the ones that are kind of like, don't really need them. Sometimes you need the Elena card for like a random weird build where you want to force somebody like Lord of Light to be a dual wielder. I'm not really worried about it. I just feel like we have better uses for my Lapis right now. So I'm not doing it, but you might really want to if you don't have Dazzling Demoness or Leave Things to Me. Probably more Demoness than anything else. And then, yeah, there's all the ones you can do. The other thing I wanted to mention was we are getting the unit fragment login bonus in exchange. So we're going to be getting tickets every day. For the first few days, we're going to be getting 1 a day. Notice for the first 9 days, we're getting 1. And then we're going to get some Lapis. And then on day 11, we're going to start getting 2 of these tickets a day. Each one of these tickets is worth 10 fragments. We're going to get up to 300 total fragments. And it does not necessarily tell us how many of each fragment are included. But we are getting fragments that we can pick and choose from units up to Olive. So notice Dark Fina Warrior's Prayer is there, Fleet-footed Sky Pirate Balthier is there, and lots of others. It does not include limited time or collaboration units, okay? But it probably will include premiums because Dark Fiend is premium. Somebody in stream asked me, what are some ones that I would recommend going after? I would say any vision card for a premium unit that you don't have yet. So if you don't have a premium unit up to EX3, specifically like Knights of Grandsheld or Stormseeker Esther, are going to be good ones to pick up because their vision cards are just good. So getting those fragments and using them to bump up to those higher EX levels to get those would be potentially a good use of these. But as somebody who really likes Clash of Wills, my main mentality is, what are the units that I can use these fragments to get a unit up to EX2 or even 3 to make it easier to fit them into a Clash of Wills team. Even maybe some units that maybe are not the best anymore. Units like Olivera, for example, could be very useful this month. Units like Bulwark could be very useful this month with Dark Imp and Dark Imbue. Sylvie would be another great one to dump fragments into. Chizuru would be a good one. Kaito would be a good one. Roberta could be a good one. Kind of like getting that core team of Clash of Wills units up to EX2 or better so that you can make teams out of them to help you get rank 1. Because, you know, rank 1 is locked behind having 16 EX levels on your team, and so you can use these to kind of shore up your team and get them to higher EX levels so that you can, 1, equip them better with their STMRs or their EX abilities, and 2, have the EX levels necessary to unlock all the mods for rank 1. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. You know, honestly, my first 2 days worth of tickets are going to make Stormseeker Esther EX3, and then I'm going to hold off to see what I get from pulling on the Clash of Wills banner and some other stuff. I'm going to wait until the end of when these are available to start dumping tickets, unless I need something. Like if I really need to dump fragments into something to make my my Clash of Wills team work, for example, then I'll use them. But I don't think I'm going to need to, based on what I know so far. Excuse me. Based on what I know so far about the upcoming Clash of Wills fight and the team that I'm already kind of formulating, I don't think I'm going to need to invest any tickets to make this work. So there's that. There's my opinion on that. I would kind of, you know, use your tickets wisely. It's free fragments, but the reality is we don't get to use them on the best brand new units, but like Chizuru is pretty dang good. So probably a good pick if you don't have EX3 Chizuru yet. And that's pretty much all the news I've got for right now. So, yeah, hopefully that helps you. And thanks again to Moose for setting up your NVA Reagan for me and totally carrying that fight. And yeah, we'll see you in the next stuff, which will be Thursday for new content night over on Twitch. So see you guys then, and have a great night.